Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Community Journal. Thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate it. We have an interesting show for you this week,
We sure do, and I can't believe we're coming to the end of summer.
and that was quite evident.
happened to summer?
What happened to summer?
It happens every year.
Yeah,
I
it
know,
does,
but
it does.
this year it came really
It
fast.
really
Yeah,
did. You can tell it's sort of coming toward the end because we did attend the last stroll last night.
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
yeah.
was really terrific.
It was.
There was a lot of people and such great talent. I mean, it was fantastic.
The bands were
bands
wonderful.
were really wonderful.
And everybody was enjoying it, and they were dancing and singing along, and it was great.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was great. And folks, if you didn't make a stroll this year, please try and do it next year because it is a can't miss. It's a wonderful time down in Harwich Port. It's just a great time on Wednesday evenings.
Yes, and all the merchants, most of them were open, and the restaurants were bustling, and everybody was having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. So, Paul, you sat down with Eric, first piece this week, our recreation update.
Yes, Eric had a lot going on. It's the
As
middle
usual.
of the season. He's almost through with one thing, and he's putting together the next season.
Very good.
And so it's going to be a lot of soccer. It's going to be big in his program, and he said that's very important because soccer is a big sport.
Yeah, and it's becoming more and more
That's true.
important. I see a lot of it on TV now, so it's becoming more and more accepted in this country.
That's
So
right.
I'm good to see that he's getting involved with that even more so.
So let's hear what else he has to say.
Okay, let's take a
All right.
look.
Our first guest today on Channel 18's Community Journal is Eric Bibby, the Director of the Youth and Recreation Area at the Council on Aging. And Eric, you had a good summer.
Yeah, we did. It's still going
Yes.
for the beaches. We're going to be checking stickers and having lifeguard staff until Labor Day.
Okay.
But as far as our programs go, our summer programs just finished up last week. They were all full, well attended. The kids had a great time. Our camp had about 100 kids per session, which is our maximum capacity.
Wow, that's great.
They did all kinds of stuff. They did field trips. They did water balloons. The last week they did a kids Olympics.
Wow.
And we had bouncy houses and we grilled hot dogs. And I've never seen so many hot dogs in my life. But they had a great time. It was a good season, and we're wrapping that up now, finishing out the beaches, and going to start getting ready for the fall soon.
Wow. And what's new for the fall?
What's new for the fall? We have another full slate of programs between the community center and the old middle school where we run them. We're going to be having arts and crafts. We're going to have all kinds of soccer for different age levels, basketball clinics, tennis, indoor soccer, Fun Friday after school program, flag football, archery, you name it, we'll try it.
That's
yeah.
a new one.
Yeah.
Was that was new last year?
Yeah, it was new last year, and it was pretty successful. Rick Gifford, one of the former teachers at the high school, he knows archery much better than I do, and he teaches it for us, and the kids seem to love it. They do it right on the fields out back. So
very good.
So it's
And
something
you had
different.
quite a good program with that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we had a good registration. There was about, I think, 12 kids doing it with them, and they loved it. And we're always up for new things. So if anybody ever wants to try something new or has a suggestion for it, they could come let us know, and we're willing to try anything, really. So we're excited about the fall. The big one is soccer season. We have a
that'll be really big.
travel soccer league, kind of gets started real quick. So that the earlier you could come in and sign up, the better.
Now, did you graduate a lot of kids in that program?
Yeah, it ends. We have a 3rd and 4th grade travel league for boys and girls, and then a 5th and 6th grade league. So once they get out of 6th grade, they move into the middle school teams.
I see.
So we handle the younger kids, and they play on Saturdays. They usually practice once a week, but we need those sign-ups as soon as possible, and we rely heavily on volunteer coaches as well. That's kind of what makes it work for us. A lot of the parents that come in and coach for us and do great jobs. So if you're interested in coaching or even assisting or doing 1 day a week or whatever you can do, we'll take it. Because there's only so many of us, and we really rely on the volunteers.
That's right, you
as well.
do.
So, but yeah, we're excited for the fall.
Very good.
A couple other updates from the summer. We're just finishing up. I know a lot of people have probably noticed Brooks Park, we're on phase 3. We're just finishing up phase 3 of the Brooks Park Improvement Project, which has been funded all through the Community Preservation Committee. We just put up the picnic pavilion, which a lot of people are excited about.
I saw that
Yeah.
when I walked by there, yeah.
So it's a wooden shelter right off the bike trail. It's already getting used. It just got finished the other day. It's a perfect spot. We got about 4 or 5 picnic tables under there. If you wanted to stop and have lunch off the bike trail, you could book it for picnics or company picnics or family reunions or whatever you want to do.
Oh.
So that's finished up, and the last part of that phase is putting up our new tennis practice wall, which was just delivered to the highway department. They'll be installing it within the next couple weeks.
Wow.
And then we're going to be
Oh, you took the other one down.
Yeah, the old one came down, and we relocated the practice area to over by the playground. And there's a brand new wall going up.
Oh,
So
okay.
that'll be nice. And then we're just going to get started on, we're putting a second restroom facility down there.
Oh, okay.
And we're also going to expand the playground. We have about 3 or 4 new playground structures coming in. So
I know you were going to expand that area.
Yep.
You know, I thought I thought you had maybe more professional kind of things that you wanted to put in.
Well, yeah, we've done, since the beginning, we've done, we added the 2 pickleball courts.
Okay.
We've resurfaced the current tennis courts. We're upgrading the playground. We're putting the restroom in and the pavilion in. And then we also put in a new half basketball court.
Okay.
So the last step with this is we're going to be looking for funding to redo the lighting system to all LED lights and really try to save the town some money in
Yes.
lighting bills. So we're excited. And after that, we should be finished with Brooks Park. And
Really? Okay.
it's really been a busy spot, that's for sure. So
You've done a lot there.
yeah,
Yes.
and we added parking too, so that's helped. A smaller, about 30 spot T-base parking lot, stone dust parking lot, and it fills, that's for sure. So
Yeah, very good.
pickleball's become quite a sport over there.
Is
so.
that right?
Oh yeah, we have.
Now, what can you explain pickleball?
Sure, I could try. It's like tennis. It's the pickleball court is about a quarter the size of a tennis court. So it's like tennis. It's a smaller court, smaller net, and they use paddles and almost like a wiffle ball, a plastic wiffle ball
Oh, wow.
that they bounce back and forth. We started it a couple years back with 5 or 6 people, and now I think we have over 200 seniors registered playing pickleball, which has been great. So
Wow.
hence the need for more courts and parking. So
Sure, good enough.
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at now. You know, we have a lot going on and keeps us busy.
You do have a lot going on.
Yep.
You have a lot for the kids and a lot for adults.
Yep, and this fall we'll have our normal slate of adult programs as well. Pickleball, of course, tennis. We have adult volleyball. We have adult field hockey, and we have over 55 basketball as well. So if you're looking to
Is
come
that
out,
for inside?
yes, yep, they're all inside. Pickleball will stay outside for a little bit of the fall before they move back inside. when the cold-
Where do they play inside?
They
the
play
gym?
here inside at the community center and at the old middle school. There's so
Okay.
many people, we spread them around. So, yep. So it should be a good fall.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you,
Thank you, appreciate it.
and congratulations.
Thanks, thank you very much.
Eric always has some great things planned in the rec department.
Yes, he does.
Plenty of work for everybody.
Yeah, he sure does.
Adults, 200 people playing pickleball. My
Wow,
goodness.
that's amazing.
It's a
Amazing.
That has
very, very
become
popular
so
sport.
popular.
Yeah,
It really
yeah,
has.
yeah.
I know a lot of people that play it.
Especially in our age group.
In our age group, even. I don't know the first thing about it.
No.
Maybe I should. But, yeah.
You're too busy.
There it is.
There you go. Eileen, you have announcements.
I do have
Okay,
announcements.
all
Yes,
right.
yes. One of my favorite subjects, music. The 2017 Pilgrim Pops Chorus is going to be presenting music of the Broadway giants Richard Rodgers and Cole Porter on Sunday, September 3rd. That's the Sunday of Labor Day weekend at 5 p.m. The Pilgrim Congregational Church is on Route 28 in Harwichport. The tickets are $20 each, or you can call 508-432-9037 for reservations. The Pilgrim Pops Chorus and Jazz Trio return for the 22nd annual Pilgrim Pops Labor Day weekend concert. I can't believe it.
I can't
22
either.
years.
That's incredible.
We've been going for many years
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah.
50 Voices join director Maury Castro to present Broadway giants Richard Rogers and Cole Porter. Performance, as I said, is at Pilgrim Congregational Church in Harwichport on Sunday, September 3rd at 5 p.m. The $20 general admission. Tickets are available by calling the number I mentioned, 508-432-9037. 508-432-9037, sorry. Remaining tickets may be purchased at the door. So there might not be remaining tickets. I know these are very popular concerts, so you might want to get them ahead of time. Doors do open at 4 p.m., and important for you to know, proceeds benefit the Young Musicians Fund, a Cape-wide outreach program to encourage youth to enhance their vocal and instrumental music skills. So that's a great concert to think about if you have time
it
on
sure is.
the Sunday of Labor Day weekend. And something else to think about is yoga. You are never too young or too old to practice yoga. Yoga nourishes your body and mind, helping to slow the aging process. In Mindful Kind yoga classes, you will experience stretching, mindfulness, awareness of the breath, simple strengthening exercises, and traditional yoga poses while standing and sitting in a chair. No floor work will be involved. That's important to know. September and October, these classes will be presented on Fridays from 9 to 10:15, September 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th, and October 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th. $8 per session. All of them are going to be held at the Harwich Community Center. If you have questions or want to sign up for classes, contact the teacher, Kathy Marin, on krmarin@msn.com or call 508-430-8623. Kathy is a certified yoga teacher. She has a master's in ed. She has practiced yoga for 21 years and is passionate about sharing yoga with others.
Very good.
Yes,
Wow.
so 2 things to think about.
2 things to think about.
Yes.
And here's something else to think about
Oh,
on
yes,
Labor
I
Day
love
weekend.
this.
This is something that you really shouldn't miss. This is on September 2nd of Labor Day weekend, the annual Harwich Police Jailhouse Barbecue. This is a can't miss. From 11 to 2 at the Public Safety Building on Sisson Road, there'll be a dunk tank, which is always fun. The kids love that. They have fun trying to dunk one of our local safety officers. Food, mug shots, face painting, and more. And you know, it's just a great time to meet some of our police and fire, and it's just a nice time. So if you have a chance, come on out September 2nd from 11 to 2.
And the food is good.
And the food is delicious. It
And
really
it's free.
is. And it's free. That's right. Yeah, okay, very good. And we can tell that fall is just around the corner because Men's Breakfast and Book Club is going to be starting up. And on Friday, September 8th, from 9 to 10, there'll be a special guest, Denya Levine, the fiddler and singer, is going to be there for breakfast. And the book group then meets from 10 to 11. And the book this month is going to be To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee.
One of my favorite, and one of my favorite movies, too.
Yeah, and this event is, of course, sponsored by the Harwich Council on Aging, Kevin Grunwald. And if you have any questions, you can call 508-430-7551. And the email there is kgrunwald@town.harwich.ma.us. And as I usually say, it's probably easier just to phone 508-430-7551. So again, book club and breakfast club, men's book club and breakfast club is starting up real soon.
Yes, it
That's
is.
amazing, really.
Yes. Well, September's around the corner.
September is right around the corner. I
Might
can't
wait
believe
away.
it.
Yeah.
Our next spot is our cemetery update with Robin Kelly, and we just want to give you a note right at the head of this that she mentions a date in the piece, and she mentions October 5th. It is not the 5th, it's October 2nd. So the date mentioned is October 2nd. So please just, on her pre-planning seminar, it's Monday, October 2nd. So Paul, you sat down with Robin.
I did, yes. And Robin had two things she wanted to talk about, and without giving any hints, why don't we just tune in?
Let's take a look.
Welcome to our second guest today, is Robin Kelly, Chief Cemetery Advisor. And Robin has a lot to talk about. Not only the new pet cemetery, but a lot of things that are going on before that. And so she wants to get right into that. Is that right, Robin?
Yes.
Very good.
So,
So why don't you take off?
Thank you. So we will be having the pre-planning seminar, which will be on October the 5th, which is a Monday, and it's from 10 to 2. It's going to be a luncheon here at the community center. You need to sign up for that. So you would call the Council on Aging. We work together with the Council on Aging and the cemetery department, and we discuss different topics that are of interest for your end-of-life planning. So we have somebody come in and talks about bereavement. We have veteran services. We have the Harwich Police Department that comes in and talks about not just end-of-life stuff, but they also talk about prescriptions and medication safety at home. We'll have monument companies come in. I will talk about any cemetery lots that are available here in town for purchase. We also have attorneys that come through the Elder Services that will talk to them about wills and trusts, and how when you apply for different things, how there's a 5-year callback. They can look back in your records for 5 years if you're applying for different services, just so everyone's aware. And then Kevin from the Council on Aging is also going to do a little bit of a topic again on his Death Cafe, which was a huge success here. It's like a round top that people talk about death, their experiences with dealing with somebody who was going to be, handed a terminal illness, or has just had a sudden death in their family and how they're dealing with that. It's just like a round table discussion that they have here ongoing.
Well, that sounds pretty serious.
Yeah, well, and some people just like to get everything in order. I had 2 sudden deaths this week, this past week. So I had to meet with families at the cemetery to pick out a cemetery lot, help them get to the funeral home, and make all those arrangements, and write an obituary, and do all of that stuff all in one morning so that they can get in, in something in the newspaper. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming. So we like to do these pre-planning seminars every year to just let people be informed about different decisions. You talk to some people, they're completely for cremation. Other people are completely against cremation. But when somebody dies suddenly, if they've never had that conversation with their children or their spouse, then they have to make that decision for you.
Right.
So we at the cemetery department, we have put together a little pre-planning booklet that is downloadable from our website that has been put on by our lovely town employees. Thank you, Jamie. And it just walks you through everything that you would need to know. A lot of things that are left out blank on a death certificate would be like your parents' place of birth. A lot of people don't know, and at the time, if they're dealing with a sudden death, they can't think clearly. So this is something you can pick up and do way far in advance and tuck it away somewhere or tell your children about it. So we just like to inform people on their options and going forward so that they're very prepared for these situations, so they're not blindsided at the last minute.
Oh, that sounds great for people who are in one of those predicaments where
Right.
you can't get out of it, and
Yeah,
you have to have these decisions.
yeah, and sometimes you have somebody, some people die very young. I mean,
Yes.
we've been very fortunate in this town that we've had a lot of people in their hundreds die recently. So
Wow.
which is make sure you save all your pennies, because you don't know how long you'll be around. But people are living longer and longer now. So, but we just want them to be prepared.
Well, that's all you can do.
Right.
And now you want to go into the pet burial ground?
Sure. So we, as most people in the town have been noticing, there's been a little bit of movement over at the pet burial grounds.
Well, it's all cleared,
Yeah, it's been all cleared, and the gazebo got put in. We will be making pathways so that it'll be handicap accessible for some people who have walking problem. So it's all going to be a stamped concrete pathway that meanders through. It goes around the gazebo and then down the other end, and it comes back. That will be going out to bid hopefully by the end of this week. I'm working with Bob Caffarelli from engineering, and he'll be putting that in the paper and putting that out to bid. So it's more like a walking park for pets as well as a burial grounds. So it's a lot of our seniors are very excited about being able to walk their little pets through the pathways and stuff when it's finished.
There's a lot of dogs and cats.
Yes,
It
there are.
looks, we have about an acre of land
Yeah,
there,
it's
dear?
it's over 2 acres.
Over 2 acres,
Yes,
wow.
and we have divided it into segments, and if we have each of the grave spaces between 2 feet by 2 feet, we should probably generate close to $1 million in revenue in lot sales
Wow.
on the cremation lots. If we sell, you know,
Just cremation?
just cremation only. It's not big enough to put
Burial.
traditional burials in there. So
Oh,
we,
that's right. You don't know
yeah.
how big the animal's going to be, right?
Right, you never know, and you can't discriminate. So we've
Right.
had a lot of positive input. The canine officers have a contingent for Cape Cod, and they've reached out. They want to do a service pet area and do a memorial for service pets, not just canines, but we also had, I guess there's a lot of equestrian horses that are for the police departments have requested stuff as well.
Oh, really? They're going to be buried there?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So if you're a Harwich pet owner, it's one price, and if you're an out-of-towner or non-resident, then it would be a different price. We are working on the pricing right now.
Okay.
We've also had a lot of support from the pet community. We've had several veterinarians offer to purchase benches, and quite a few landscaping companies, one large one in Hyannis, that wants to donate shrubs and bushes for the property as well. So it's been a little overwhelming for me because we have to go through a process. You can't just accept gifts. So
Right.
we have to get all sorts of stuff done at Town Hall to make sure that we accept gifts properly, and you know how that works for the town.
Well, I had a dog, and he died before my wife, and so he was on the mantle, with his little cremation jar. And then when she died, we put him in with her.
Yeah, technically you're not supposed to do that. So
Is that right?
yeah, so traditional cemeteries are for human remains only. The reason why we started the pet cemetery was because the state of New York is changing their rules and regulations to include that pets could be buried in your cemetery if you do not offer an alternative.
Oh, really?
So that is why we went forward with doing we will be the first municipal pet cemetery in the state of Massachusetts. I know of 2 other towns now that are following our lead off Cape, that they've called me and said, please, as soon as you get your rules and regulations, send them to us. So we're doing all the legwork, and I think other people are going to jump on board once they see how profitable, well, not profitable, but that it wouldn't cost the town money to do such a thing. We'll probably, you know, with the cost of the land and all the stuff that you go into it and maintenance and everything that goes, so it's probably like a break-even thing for most municipals, but it's another service that your town will be offering its citizens. And a lot of our seniors or people are renters, and when their pets pass away, you know, people traditionally would bury them in their yard, but then they move, and then they can't go back and visit them when somebody else owns their home.
No.
So you want to try to make a alternative for them so they can have respect their pets, because now sometimes people their pets are like their children, and they love them and want to be able to visit them. So
And of course, you know, most of them don't live more than 15 years.
right, they say that each person who has a pet usually owns 8 to 10 in their lifetime.
Wow.
So I think that it's an up-and-coming thing, and I think that more people are doing a lot more stuff for their pets. You'll just notice there's all sorts of events that involve pets now. The Papapalooza was just up, and then a lot of the different, like I know Hyannis Gardens just did a huge thing with a pet. They had a pet day there as well. So I think a lot more people are doing pet-related activities because it's more of a pet-friendly environment right now.
Well, that's great. And so Bart is in with his mother. And is that it?
That's all we have for right now. As soon as we get any more updates on when the opening will be, we have a list of 13 people that already want their pets interred
Really?
in the cemetery. So as soon as the pathways are finished and we have the markers on the ground, we'll be able to start selling lots.
Now that you can, a jack can go into a space about that big.
Right.
Is that?
But a lot of people want to do memorials for their
Yes.
pets, so they want to make a marker. So all the markers will be flat, flush markers for easy mowing, so that you won't see any markers on it. It'll look like a park as you drive by, and it'll have benches and.
How big will a lot be?
We think about 2 feet by 2 feet, like a square. So we are still working on all of the rules and regulations, but as soon as we finalize them, we'll be posting them probably on our website, and as well as probably do another update here on Channel 18 so that people can be informed before anything happens.
Well, that'll be great.
Okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't have a pet anymore, but I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Okay. Thank you.
What a great idea.
Oh, a
and
wonderful
just,
idea.
You know, that's wonderful because we know a lot of people that have pets.
Yes.
And, you know, it's always very difficult when they have to part with their pet.
Yes.
And this is really a very appropriate thing to have
It's
happen.
a nice
I had to
place
do
to-
it.
you had
Yeah,
to
I
do
know
it,
you
I
did.
know,
And this
yes.
was not available to you.
Yes,
I
yes.
had no
Yeah.
Yeah,
burial ground.
Right.
right. No, this is what
It's
a
nice
wonderful
for
thing.
people to have a place to go and
Yeah.
mourn their pet and
Yeah,
talk to their
great
pet. and-
idea.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, no, Robin is
And
doing
to-
a good job on that.
To think we're the first municipality in the whole
I know.
State,
Yes,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
Good
that's
for you,
really-
Robin. And all who are helping you.
Great job. Eileen,
Yes.
you've got something there.
I do, yes. Speaking of cemeteries and loss, there will be a loss and healing writing workshop facilitated by Judy Hunter, who was a bereavement coordinator and author. Honoring the stories and the power of writing is the name of the workshop. And we just heard a discussion on, you know, the physical part of dealing with a loss and a death, but there's also the emotional healing, and it's something that people sometimes don't always pay attention to.
That's true.
And I think whether it's a person in your life or a pet in your life or whoever you have lost, I think it's important that it be dealt with, and writing things down and keeping memories is such an important part of that. There have been great societies that did not use our ancestors' great invention, the wheel, but there have been no societies that did not tell stories, and that's so true.
That's very true.
This workshop is going to be held on 5 Fridays from 2 to 3:30 p.m., starting on September 29th, and going through the 4 Fridays in October, the 6th, the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. It will be held at the Harwich Council on Aging, right here at the Community Center on Oak Street. It is being sponsored by Beacon Hospice, and you can register with Judy Hunter by calling 508-778-1622. And as the immortal Dr. Seuss said, sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory.
Wow,
Yeah.
very good. Okay, thanks,
Love Dr.
Eileen.
Seuss.
Yeah, I love Dr. Seuss. our kids love Dr.
Oh,
Seuss. You
they
know,
did, and now
yeah.
our grandkids do. Yes,
Yeah, no, thank you. We have a public service announcement here that some people might be interested in. Effective as of Sunday, September 10th, the Harwich United Methodist Church at 1 Church Street in Harwich. Our new service time, they do in the fall, their service time does change, will be at 9:30 a.m. And they also have a new web address. So those of you that attend that church, please make note of their new web address. It is www.harwichunitedmethodistchurch.org. Now that's an easy one to remember.
Yes, it is.
It really is. So I'll say it one more time. It's www.harwichunitedmethodistchurch.org, and their new service time will be on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Their contact information, their phone number is 508-432-3734. That's 508-432-3734. And right around the corner on September 16th from noon to 8 p.m. is going to be Cran Jam, the 8th annual Cran Jam.
8th. Wow, I can't believe that.
Free admission and all kinds of things going on for Cran Jam this year. Dawn of the Buffalo, N-Train, Ja Spirit, the Groovalatos, Harwich Cranberry Festival, Craft Festival, Saturday and Sunday, September 16th and 17th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's going to be award-winning local microbrewery, Devil's Purse Beer and Wine will be there. There'll be the tent will be there. Food trucks will be there. Bring your dancing shoes, your chair, and your blanket. There's all kinds of things going to be happening.
It's going to be a dance floor, so you can use your
Yeah,
dancing
you
shoes.
can use your dancing shoes. And here's something you can really look forward to coming in. This is way in the future, but this is something you might want to be aware of. December 19th, Judy Collins is going to be appearing at Monomoy High School. And they're going to be, boy, we're going to try and get to that one.
Yes.
Judy Collins is
one of
going to
my
be coming
favorites.
to Monomoy High School. Tickets are going to be available at judyonthecape.bpt.me. So that.
What's the phone number?
Yeah, there
There isn't one.
Paul, there isn't one.
There isn't one? Oh, my.
No,
Maybe
no.
they'll think about that.
Yeah, but right now there is a website to get to, judyonthecape.bpt.me. So that's coming on December 19th. It's way in the future, but Judy Collins, I mean, a huge record seller and has all kinds of hits.
An icon from the 60s and 70s.
And
yeah.
a real icon. So that's something to really look forward to. So all kinds of things happening this fall and coming in the winter. So, you know, the good times just keep on rolling.
She taught me how to look at things from both sides now.
Oh my goodness.
Ba-dum-bum.
Good grief.
I couldn't
You
resist.
couldn't
I'm
resist.
sorry.
No. Of course, periodically, our town administrator, Chris Clark, keeps us up to date as to what's going on in town. So right now, we're going to give you the administrator's address with Chris Clark. So let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Christopher Clark, Town Administrator for the Town of Harwich. I thought today I would spend a little bit of time going over where we are with the sewer project. As many people know, at this past town meeting was asked to appropriate money for the IMA with Chatham, the design in the East Harwich project, and other related, the third one is Colebrook. In total, those three elements cost about $12 million, and it went to the voters, and the voters approved those ballot questions. So where do we stand now in terms of those ballot questions? We have made our first payment to the town of Chatham for the IMA, so we are compliant with the IMA for making our payment to buy into their plant, if you would, and reserve 300,000 gallons of capacity. The second, and folks may see this throughout the community, more specifically in the Pleasant Bay and East Harwich area, that we have survey crews are actively engaged in going around. What those survey crews are, they're a subsidiary of CDM, our design firm, and they're looking at taking measurements of the elevations in the street and the elevations in people's, not in the homes, but in the outside of your home at a foundation level. And what they're trying to do, or what they are doing, is getting elevations to be able to ascertain whether a gravity system, which as the name implies doesn't require any pumps or anything of that nature, that the material flows via gravity down through the pump station, down to the system into a pump station that then takes a larger amount. The more that we can do gravity systems, the more cost effective it will be for the town, and quite honestly, probably the better operation for the system. The other areas, when they see that if the street is high and the house is low, as an example, they take those elevations and then they would need to pump up the material. So there are going to be occasions in which we're going to have localized pump stations that will take maybe 20 homes or less and then pump into an area. And then in some cases, there are going to be individual homes that would have a pump, a grinder pump, in the individual home, in the individual property by the home, that would then pressurize the material and send it. So a lot of that work, the contract with CDM was about $2 million. The expectation is that the design work will be close to complete in time for the May 2018 town meeting. At the May 2018 town meeting, we do anticipate a construction article, probably in the neighborhood of $22 million, will be requested of the residents. So we are in the process of putting that material together. The survey crews are active. We did do an aerial flyover, so we have the topography from that aerial flyover already. So the design team is well underway to getting the system designed for that Pleasant Bay area, the southern section of Pleasant Bay. I did, and I know folks are probably tired of seeing this, but we do have some of the pamphlets, and one we have kind of a water drop, and we do have on our website the water drop. I've been getting some questions about, is my home in the area that's going to be sewered? We do have maps on the website, so if you look on the website, click on the maps, you should be able to expand those out and see which areas are going to be done. One of the things, as I've been meeting with some of the design firm, is that some streets, if a street has an opportunity to be done by gravity in lieu of a pump station, then we probably will pick up one neighborhood that may not be right on the map, but adjacent to it. And somebody that is on the map may get adjusted with it. Property does not need to be, or will not be part of the sewer system itself. I don't anticipate that to be a big number, but I want people to realize that that could happen in some limited cases. That will be driven by the engineering elements of the project. The other thing, while we're on the issue in terms of the sewer project, we did have at a recent selectmen's meeting, I believe it was during the month of July, if folks want to look it up, we did have the county come in, and one of the concerns that came up just before the 2017 annual town meeting in May was a concern by the neighbors of some of the residents about how do we pay for the connection. Again, the project that's being paid for by the town is putting a sewer in the street, and then the individual homeowner has to go from their individual home to the street. Again, the engineering will say whether you can do it by gravity or whether you need to have some kind of pumping system. But those costs, and actually in the town of Chatham, I think they range from $5,000 to $7,000. So we believe that there will be a range. Probably gravity systems may be a little bit more inexpensive, and a pump station or a pumping system in the individual property would be on the more expensive end. One of the things that when we had a meeting with the selectmen, we invited in the folks from the county. The county does have a septic loan program that is eligible. These sewer connection fees are eligible for that, and they can finance it over 20 years. So folks that do desire to finance that connection, they have that option available to them. I know we had a couple residents who had expressed an interest that they are in an area that is not going to be sewered, but they want to do kind of the right thing and protect the environment and get one of these alternative technology units to go in to try to reduce the amount of nitrogen that goes into the environment. And this loan program does also pertain to those folks. So if you have an interest in that, or if you believe you may have an interest, when we get closer to the construction, that may be something that you want to individually pursue directly with the county. In terms of, yeah, I probably should mention, I was just thinking timetable-wise, By going to town meeting in May of 18, if town meeting approves it and then the ballot gets approved, we could look at construction beginning probably in the early fall, late summer of 2018, with construction done in the fall of 19. So it would be a 2-year construction cycle, and the project would be phased into probably 2 phases. One's closest to Chatham going first, and then the ones further away going second. And then there was also a $2 million appropriation that was made for Cold Brook. That $2 million appropriation had the elements included in it of approximately $180,000 to $200,000 that would be put towards design, and then the $1.8 million towards construction. What we are looking at, and we have been making progress, the town officials, we have been meeting with Harwich Conservation Trust and their respective consultants on our side, on their side, and Harwich Conservation Trust owns the bog system on Bank Street, and the process would be to convert the bogs into a alternate system. So instead of a bog system, it probably would be a combination of relocating the stream bed that runs through there, number one. Number two, creating marsh instead of cranberry bog. And number three, creating some ponds. Ponds are tremendously effective nitrogen attenuators. The bottom layer of the pond is I guess I would call it a muck layer, but it's a biological layer, and it's very efficient at removing nitrogen. Not too dissimilar to the way a wastewater treatment plant works, where we use bugs to eat nitrogen and some of the other chemicals that enter into the system. So that is still a work in progress. Hopefully I will be able to give a more comprehensive update. We are also actively looking at researching grants that the town may be able to obtain as part of that project. So I know I'm pretty close to my time mark, so I am going to wrap it up there. Christopher Clark, Town Administrator for the Town of Harwich, thank you for your time and attention.
Well, as always, we appreciate Chris Clark coming on and bringing us up to date, and thank you, Chris, for taking the time. And just want to remind you, and this is a little bit in the future, but just mark your calendar that all the town buildings are going to be closed on Labor Day, September 4th. And again, folks, that is our show for this week. We really appreciate you joining us, and on behalf of all of us here at Channel 18, thank you so much.
Yes, please take advantage of everything we've told you about, and as Paul would say if he were here, do it safely.
Thanks, folks. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye for now.